All right. So it gives me an immense pleasure to start another new webinar series, Straight Talk with Alumni, organized by Corporate Resource Center, ITS Engineering College, Greater Noida, with ITS Alumni Association team. This is Rashmi Prasad from Corporate Resource Center, welcoming you all. For some of you, who are in the edge of placement or in the beginning of career, I do understand it might be stressful to think on the uncertainty lies ahead. So it is going to be one of such platform where you get to interact directly with your alumni and find your mentor. I use the word mentor because, our alumni as a mentor, they understand your anxiety, pressure, stress you're going through. And this webinar will be more focused on learning from a mentor. Because mentoring is a brain to pick, an ear to listen, and a push in the right direction. Join us in building this strong relationship with your seniors that will be more, wherein you will be more understanding the practical journey of a graduate transforming into a corporate or an entrepreneur. On behalf of ITS Engineering College, I feel very proud to introduce our chit-chat guest, Mr. Shubham, Vice President of ITS Alumni Association from batch 2016 from Mechanical Engineer, an entrepreneur for Kumar Steel's work, and Ms. Akanksha Sachdev, ITS Alumni 2009-2013 batch from ECE department. And right now she is leading campus recruitment for North India with TCS. So we will be discussing on the topic skill building, which is required in the starting of a successful career in IT. So moving forward, let me first introduce our guest, Mr. Shubham. I was just going through his profile. So basically, he is a successful entrepreneur who is running his own company, Kumar Steel Works, and majorly taking care of complete plant operation from last 3.7 years. Prior to this, he was working with some of the prominent companies like Ashok Leyland, LG Electronics, and now a successful entrepreneur. Each entrepreneur will need, to go through a unique entrepreneurial journey that brings him a desired success. So, I always admire young entrepreneurs who take that risk and put in a lot of hard work to set their own organization. So, and to carry such unique hunger and curiosity and, build in something of your own is definitely a risk-taking and a journey filled with challenges. So Mr. Shubham is one such inspiring young entrepreneur, and I'm sure will be one of our mentor for young engineers who want to get into entrepreneurship journey and contribute to the nation. Like our Honorable Prime Minister has always said, Atmanirbharata is what defines him. Welcome to this webinar, Shubham.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Hello, everyone. I guess we have 39 participants.
Yes.
Shubham, hello. Hear me?
Yes, Shubham, you can take over as the attendees are joining in. You could start off with your introduction, okay. And I think it will be nice to hear from you.
Introduction not required, ma'am. You already said each and everything. Nothing was required. Hello, everyone. Let's start. As we know, ITS Engineering College is now having its own alumni association known as Fraternity, which in association with CRC team is going to organize this first webinar series. And we have our esteemed guest, Ms. Akanksha Sachdev, with us. She is very interesting, she is very young, she is very talented, she is very successful. And she is working with TCS right now since 5 years. She completed her engineering in 2013, EC specialization, and after doing that, she did her MBA from Symbiosis Pune. She got herself placed in TCS, and since then she is working with TCS. Had taken up various roles, talent acquisition, resource management, and currently she is leading uh, campus recruitment North Zone for TCS. So we welcome her, and now over to Ms. Akanksha for her great words, great mentorship.
Thank you
Now
so
over to
much,
you, ma'am.
Shubham.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you so
Thank you.
much, Shubham, for the kind words, and thank you, Rashmi ma'am, for having me here. Am I audible and visible? I mean, are you guys able to hear me?
Yes, yes, we can.
Yes, yes, okay.
Okay.
Absolutely. Okay, so hi guys, how are you doing? Good morning. I hope all of you are awake and energized already. So guys, this is not a formal session wherein you're interacting with somebody from a company, okay? So feel free. I would love to interact with you, get to know what you guys are looking for, how I can help you, because I'm no different from what you are right now. I was in your shoes, say some 11 years back when I joined college, or rather, if you can say, I passed out in 2013, so 7 years to that as well. So I exactly know what you guys are going through because I went through the same thing when you were there. And since I think most of you are from the pre-final year batch now who are attending the session, some of
Yes.
you might have
Third year
already.
and MBA first year. This is the crowd we have right
Right. So you guys are from the pre-final year, and a lot of inhibitions might be there in your mind, what to do, what not to do. So before we get into all that, let's see your participation and energy levels, okay? So I want each and every one of you to ping me two things. First and the foremost is what you had for breakfast, if you had breakfast. And second thing would be the one thing you miss in this lockdown. Okay, so answers on my chat screen now.
now. Okay, wow.
Come on, guys. It's like the fastest finger first. So, why first thing is what you had for breakfast, if you're not already in bed right now. And second is what are you missing the most in this lockdown? Come on, guys. You need to answer to all panelists. Otherwise, I won't be able to see the answers, okay? Okay, so Shubham says no breakfast and he misses money in the lockdown. Okay, Shubham. I know businesses are getting difficult to handle in this situation, but
Yeah.
hopefully things will improve soon.
They are improving.
Okay,
They are improving.
yeah.
Great.
So Ajay, you said breakfast and you're missing college classes. Oh wow. Are you missing the subjects? Or are you missing the musty with friends? You
Missing
need to
test
think
cafeteria.
on that. I'm missing the cafeteria. Bunking classes and sitting there. Huh? Ma'am, please take note. Okay, so Ishika says she had oats for breakfast. She's not told me what she's missing the most. Anjali also had oats and she's missing the casual life which they had, okay? Suleiman had eggs and milk. Suleiman, are you also going to the gym? Is it so? Or are you doing your push-ups at home? And he's missing gatherings with friends and family. That's true, guys. We are all social beings and having to sit at home अकेले चार लोगों के साथ without having been able to go out anywhere थोड़ा tough है I know it's fine
But it's
ठीक हो
nice to
जाएगा
see
don't
that
worry.
most of them are having healthy food, healthy and nutritious food.
Exactly the point I was coming to, ma'am. I think all the ITS guys are totally focused on healthy living and being healthy and improving their own diets and physique and maybe their health during this lockdown. So that's really good. No breakfast, he's missing college friends. Trust me, I'm also missing a lot of my friends, guys.
Antriksh Gupta is missing his hostel gang. Of course, we all know what happens in the hostel, so I'm sure you are missing that. Vishwas is missing parties. He doesn't want to tell me what he had for breakfast. Suleiman is missing gym very much. See, Suleiman, I got to know that you're a gym guy. Good, that's great. Keep up the workout at home. You can try so many online classes these days, which are there. Okay, Sanjay had poha. Okay, so these are the guys who want to talk to me out of the 51 people. The rest of you wake up. Good morning. It's 11:15. I know you might have slept at 5 o'clock in the morning, but it's fine. We
Webinar
can
series.
watching webinar series. So Netflix and chill is what we do, right? Okay, great. So good guys, good to see the interaction which we had, and I'll just begin with what I had to say on the topic which I am here for. And but before that, I'll just take you through my journey as to when I was in college, what I did, and how my life just was after I left. So guys, I joined ITS. So one thing I would like to tell you is you guys are very, very lucky. Okay. Why I say that is because now you have so much information, so much awareness around you. Okay. Back in 2009, when I was in school in 12th, I was to decide what I need to do in future. I wanted to get into engineering, and in 12th, I really liked the chapters which I had on semiconductors and all these things in science. So I thought, oh yes, electronics can be something which is like that, and it is a new field. I mean, it was there prevalent, but yes, it had still not established so much as it is today. So I was like that there might be a lot of scope. I did not want to get into IT, which was considered to be a boring desk job back then, where just to sit and code and code and code. So that was something I didn't want to do. So I thought that, okay, I'll take EC as my specialization. And then to choose a college, I gave like XYZ number of entrance exams and everything. But then due to some or the other decision, I decided to join ITS. And I think mine was the third batch which passed out from the college. And so a lot of things were still coming in, processes were getting defined. We had two batches of seniors who actually were there to help us. They also had a very difficult time. So like one of my seniors, they actually helped in setting up your computer lab, which is there on the ground floor, just opposite the chemistry lab. So they were responsible for getting the LAN connections assembled and all these things, right? So from now where you have like best in class infrastructure, you have microwave labs, you have labs with tie-ups with corporate giants, IoT and everything. So the journey from where we were to where you are has taken time, but it has actually come out to be so good. Okay. So you guys must be thinking. So everybody thinks कि अरे college में कुछ नहीं करा रहे, ये है वो है, हमें ये करना है, ये नहीं करने दे रहे. That's basic student nature, guys. Okay. So back then we were not so aware as you are right now. We did not have so many opportunities as you have right now. So I would say, guys, make the most of it. Like when I was in my second year, that's when the smartphones came in. Like the HTC launched its smartphone, which was like this big, and it had like limited. Then Galaxy A. So that's when we were introduced to the concept of apps and making everything so mobile and compact. But now you don't even use your laptops. Okay, so things have changed. And when I was in college, we were trying to make the most of what we had. We had some amazing teachers who were there to support us throughout. And I'm still connected with them, a few of them who taught me. A lot of them have moved, of course, they had career aspirations beyond. So they moved out, but they were there to help out whatever new initiative we had to take in. So for me, I consider myself more into, say, a managerial aspect of things. Like after this, I realized in college. So first I thought that I'll get into like total core electronics and everything. though I still love the subjects and all, I had a lot of interest, like one of my favorite subjects being digital communication and digital electronics. But then I realized by participating in so many extracurriculars, by being being in the organizing committee for the college fest, by anchoring in multiple occasions, say the college freshers party, which was the second freshers party ever held in college, if you know what I mean, because the first year batch did not have a freshers. That's really sad. So anyway, so all these things happened, and then eventually I decided that I am more suited to get into a managerial kind of side. So that's when I decided to do MBA. So now you'll think कि ठीक है, अगर उस time कुछ था नहीं तो placements तो होंगे ही नहीं. नहीं. I got placed from ITS. I got placed with Decathlon as an operations manager, because electronic companies were very, very few at that time, and they had very less openings. So that was in Bangalore, but then I decided otherwise. I decided to go to Pune and do my MBA in HR. And then I joined TCS, and it's been 5 beautiful years, and I've grown so much, learned so much. And like, considering what I was back then and what I am now, it is a huge difference. Like back in school, I was scared of going on stage. Okay, and now I can talk non-stop and bored by still ages. Okay, so I'm not saying I'm saying don't get bored, but yeah, I can talk to you if you want to talk to me. So that's there.
I just want to add on to this, Akanksha, like, we see a great transformation from a graduate to, and a corporate employee. Similarly, in the journey of ITS, definitely ITS has transformed itself into multiple process, projects and things. Because for us also, as years passed by, it was a learning curve. Right, and I'm sure my third year students are aware there are a lot of activities we do, be it on projects, we push them for internship, certifications, utilize this lockdown period, because some of the students themselves volunteer and say more than talking about the rights I'm supposed to get in college, now it's time we think about the responsibility as a student we have to take up. So that is something makes me very proud, to actually look into these young engineers having such good, gesture towards their college. And at the same time, even we are also learning, we are also seeing the opportunities, how we can bring in the best. Pandemic situation is there, that is for sure. But what best maximum opportunity we can bring into our students is what CRC or any, even the faculty teams, everyone are very, very closely connected now as a team, and we work around, we split around and make sure things work out. So, I just wanted to add that, because that is, yes, it was a learning for us, but now we are all structured and we are working together amazingly. All thanks to my students. We have a PlaceCom group from third year, wherein they are actively working with us whenever there's a drive or whenever something we should drive from the team of student. We have good, strong team of PlaceCom team. Each person from the branch is a part of a team. So we all are connected so well.
Yes, ma'am, I totally agree to that, and it's commendable. And I, as an alumni, also feel really proud, because I've been visiting ITS in the past 2 years for recruitment drives. We host TCS recruitment drives in your campus as well. So I've met a few of your PlaceCom students as well, and they are like always on their toes and running around to just ensure that the drive goes on perfectly. So that's a commendable thing which has started, and it also makes students independent. So if you see, in all MBA colleges, the faculties do not get into these things like alumni, PlaceCom. It's totally student driven, which gives students the power to get to know their own skill sets as well. So, and plus, when I visited the college after I moved back to Delhi, so earlier I was working with TCS Pune. I shifted to Delhi in 2018. That's when I visited college again through TCS, and I was amazed to see the kind of infrastructure which has got developed, the labs, the entire wing which was not even existent when we were in college. So the amazing amphitheater just started construction when we were back in college. So it's great to see your institute grow so much and reach such heights, and I hope, guys, you have the responsibility to take it to further heights, okay? we cannot do everything. It's you who have to do. And as Rashmi ma'am rightly said, you guys are amazing. You have amazing ideas and you have to take it ahead for yourself and for your college. Okay. So we'll come to the blabbering part and the fun part later. I'll just take you through the boring part of the PPT. Okay, not the PPT but of the session. So hear me out. Whatever you want to take from that, you take it. Whatever you want to skip, it's fine. Okay. So I don't have a lot of slides to bore you because ma'am told me that you have to keep it interactive and so that the students are interested to listen to you. So I have totally abided by what she had told me. So there are just 3 small slides which I have to show you, which will maybe sum up what you need to do right now as the year comes in. So ma'am, if you can just give me screen sharing access, please.
Yeah.
I'll just present the slides.
Yes, Akanksha, I've given it.
Thank you. Okay guys, can you see my screen? Answers on the chat window, yes, no, I don't know.
Yes, we can.
Okay, fine. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so guys, before I start giving you gyan, you need to give me some gyan as to what do you know about IT? What is IT all about? And I don't want answers from CSIT guys. I want answers from mechanical, electronics, electrical. And ma'am, do we have civil as well or no?
It is a mixture of all branches and it's third year B.Tech mostly and my first year MBA students.
Okay, great. So MBA guys and non-CSIT guys, what is the IT industry all about? What do you understand? Guys, I want answers. Okay, but I won't tell you. Guys, answer to all panelists so that I can also see the answers, please. Information technology, okay. Anything more? Okay, CSIT guys can also answer. Guys, whatever your answers are, just put it in the chat window. I'll be able to see them if you write to all panelists. Antrix, work using programming. Okay, this is Chai Pe Charcha. Of course, Shubham, this is what we are doing. I just missed the physical cup of tea right now. But anyway, I think I'll have to go and make it myself since we are all in Atmanirbhar mode at home.
Yeah.
Okay. So Shivam says digital area. Okay. Information about all the technologies which we use. Okay. Great. So I hear technology, I hear information technology, I hear programming. इसके अलावा क्या करते हैं IT में? Playing with information. Okay, Anjali. Okay, CSIT guys, you can pitch in too. So you guys are aspiring to make a career in IT. What do we do in IT? Relating to computer technologies. Okay. Coming from mechanical, it's about managing and testing software. Yes, Suleiman, that is also part of it. Okay, fine, fair enough, guys. I just wanted to see where the understanding is so that I can tell you accordingly. The study of use of systems, especially computers, telecommunication for storing, retrieving, and sending information. Google Baba ki jai, right? Ranjan? But good, at least you've given me the answers, so that's great. It's about, Avnish says that IT is all about to enhance the world with the technology. Okay, great. Right, guys, so before we come into what IT is all about and what's, so what IT is all about, I will take you through the process wherein you need to know what is important for skill building to start a successful IT career. Okay. Now, first and the foremost, guys, is know the competition. Okay. Why I put this here is because you know the statistics of our country. You know the number of engineers passing out every year. Any idea, guys? Wild guesses. Come on. ये सुना होगा यार, सब यही ज्ञान देते हैं जब थर्ड ईयर में आते हैं. सीआरसी वाले फैकल्टीज बुलाएंगे, they will give you good lecture कि ये करना है, which you should listen because that is what I am going to tell you. The same things in maybe a different way. So Suleiman says 12 lakh plus engineers. Okay, any other guesses? Right, guys. So if you are telling me that yes, close to 12 lakh students are passing out, and the numbers are quite close to what you've told me, so you know what competition you have in front of you. Okay. So see, even though your CRC is doing an amazing job, they are getting so many companies to your campus. They are after you, helping you prepare and all these things. But if you guys don't prepare, don't become who you want to be, or other words written on this list, for a company, you're right now just what's out there. Okay? You are those 12 lakh, as Suleiman said, or 1.7 million, as Antrik said. You are just somebody who's out there, okay? You need to become the chosen one. For all the Harry Potter fans, you know the reference. So you need to become the chosen one for any company, okay? So it's imperative that you know your competition. You need to be better than them, okay? Gone are the days, guys, जब एक लैंग्वेज आती थी, एक चीज पे हम फोकस करते थे एंड सिलेक्शन हो जाता था. नहीं, you are so now with the boom in technology, you have so much information about the companies. So companies also have higher expectations from you guys. They would want someone whom they can choose right then, select, and they can deploy to projects as soon as possible. So you have to think out of the box to make your candidate job. क्या करना चाहिए उसके लिए also I will come, something which I will come to later. But first and the foremost is you need to know what kind of competition you are facing. So if I talk about TCS only, the company I work for and I recruit for day in, day out, you would have heard about the TCS National Qualifier test, right? So last year we had about 3.5 lakh students who registered for that test for TCS itself, right? Those who were eligible and everything after filtering. So out of those 3 lakh students who registered, we were just able to give offers to close to about 40,000 people. Okay, so you can see the gap. You can see how huge is the difference and how much you need to work in order to make yourself employable, I would say. I mean, all of you know कि ठीक है, mass recruiter सबका मसीहा आजकल का slogan बना हुआ है after Tanmay Bhatt's video. But no matter what you say, guys, that is something which the mindset companies had when they actually had to ramp up their workforce. Okay, when they actually had to increase workforce fourfold. But now it's not so. Companies are getting more and more aware of what they want in every person. They are getting very specific to going into class hiring than mass hiring. Okay, so you need to understand that even though they hire in bulk numbers, it's not just that they're taking anybody. Okay, so you have to work towards that, to becoming the chosen one, and that is something you can do by setting yourself apart from the others. Okay. Second thing is know the industry demands. Okay. So what I mean by this is, as I was telling you, industry has changed and is rapidly changing every day. Okay. How many of you are aware of the industrial revolutions which we had? Right from the steam engine days. Any idea? किसी को पता है? 4.0 is what we are at now. Can anybody name the other 3 industrial revolutions, what they were all about? Any idea, anyone? Guys, I can see just 4 people answering. Baki log, get up. If you guys are all energized, say yay. Type yay in the chat. Come on. I want answers from others. Achha, tell me at least if you are awake or not. Yeah, Shubham, I can see you. Thanks for the enthusiasm. Okay, Abhishek is also. I said why, okay? Yay, like exciting. Come on, get up, wake up. Okay, great. So I have people who are listening to me. That's good. Okay, so guys, why I'm saying, yeah, coming back to my question, can anybody tell me what the other industrial revolutions are all about? Nahin. Okay, fine. So guys, it all started with the steam engine, of course, wherein like we were able to use that steam and water power in order to run our industries. Then next came the assembly lines in 2.0, where we were able to automate certain processes and like form a supply chain. Then moving forward, we had the IT boom, of course, wherein the supercomputers came into being after the wars were over. And now we are into the 4.0 revolution, where everything is moving towards intelligent systems. Okay, so what you need to do is know what the industry demands, and what the industry is doing these days is they are moving towards meeting their business 4.0 demands, is what we call it at TCS. So that is nothing but, first and the foremost, being intelligent to your surroundings, being agile in your work style, automating as many of your IT processes as you can, and of course living out of the cloud, right? So this is something which the industry is moving towards, and they need to do this. They need to embrace the risk which is there at hand while they are adapting to this change. They need to mass personalize their solutions. Right? So all of those who are going to work in IT or in any other industries, say manufacturing, healthcare, whichever industry you plan to get into, each customer nowadays, they have specific demands. Okay, you work for say 1,000 clients, each client will have their specific personalized demand which you will have to fulfill. Okay, because technology is booming, things are getting intelligent, all these things are happening at such a fast pace that you need to adapt at even a faster pace. Okay, so mass personalization is something to which you need to embrace. Then coming to leveraging ecosystems, whatever resources you have, how many ever stakeholders you have, companies need to leverage them, bring them together and work together with them. And of course, this will help them create an exponential value for themselves in the coming years as well. Guys, I will take questions at the end of the session. I'll take note of your question, Antriksha. I'll answer that in future, like after I complete. So this is something which the industry is demanding right now. They are moving to a newer model. So in case you guys think that, okay, as I was saying, only Java, only C, only C++ will help you take through your interviews, help you build an IT career, things have changed. Okay, so first and the foremost is, yes, you have to have those basic technologies, you have to have a strong hold on that. Okay, बहुत बार ऐसा होता है when I'm sitting for interviews with the technical panels, students come to us and when the panels ask them just basic questions like give me an algorithm of say a Fibonacci series, people answer that, sir, first year में पढ़ा था हमें याद नहीं है. Guys, this kind of an answer you cannot give. Okay, engineering 4 साल आपने किया है, you've invested so much of time and effort. I'm not saying you remember each and everything, but you remember something. Okay, so that is important. So even though industry is moving at a fast pace, they are trying to transform. They cannot let go of what they have as their core. Similarly, you also cannot let go of what knowledge you've had. Like you're doing B.Tech, this doesn't mean that you forget whatever has happened in school. Okay, or if you start a job, you forget what B.Tech was all about. That is not how you build yourself. Okay, so similarly, industries also, they're working on all the technologies you can imagine, right from a mainframes to a C, to a C Sharp, C++, PHP, Perl, JavaScript, Python, machine learning, big data, Hadoop. I can keep naming. There's so many technologies. So for you to become that person or that chosen one, you need to adapt to this as well. You need to have good sound knowledge of one of the prevalent technologies, say a stronghold on one of the databases which you are studying, or for the electrical, mechanical and electronics guys on the core subject knowledge which you guys take in. Because if I talk about digital communication, that is exactly what is happening these days at a much higher level than what you study right now. But that is the base of what everything is going on, right? If you talk about IoT, that is where you can link all your devices, your electronic devices to internet, and you can make the system smart. So Alexa, all of you have heard, right? You've used Alexa. She can even switch on and off your lights and fans at home if you give her the command, right? So that is the level which you guys need to reach to. So yes, you have to have more knowledge in place. Along with that, you also need to have a hold on some technology which will take you forward and help you adapt to the change. Okay, so
Right, Akanksha, to this, I just wanted to throw some more light because, of course, academics and the courses is definitely going to be like a foundation. I mean, there is no compromise on that. Now, other than that, how much weightage would an internship or a course or a project would hold during the process of interview? So, if you could just throw some light on that, I mean, I think it will be great.
sure, ma'am. I'll just take that up in my next slide, which I'm about to present.
Okay.
So guys, after talking about what the business demands are, after knowing what business wants, you guys need to become that chosen one, as I was saying. And how you can do that is by building your brand. Okay, each of you will have to build your brand for your interview and for making a successful career. If you guys think कि ठीक है एक बार इंटरव्यू हो गया, नौकरी लग गई, जॉइनिंग आ गई, उसके बाद लाइफ सॉर्टेड है, no, that is when the rat race begins. ठीक है, उसके बाद भी there is so much competition that you cannot imagine. Okay, if you stop learning, if you stay where you are कि हाँ अब तो life sorted है, it won't work out for you. So you'll have to keep improvising, keep updating yourselves. But right now, what you need to worry about is how you build your brand. And I'll just take you through that. I've just tried to classify it into 4 simple things which you guys can relate to, okay, which you guys should focus on. I'm not saying that you will be able to do everything right now at once, but yes, you still have time, and please work on yourself right from today. Okay, so if I talk about your technical skills, so when you come for an interview, guys, you have like 20 odd minutes where you can impress your interviewer. Okay, and in case you are there at the interview, you need to be a power box. Rather, what I want to say is you need to be that one person who's everything for the interviewer. Okay, so first and the foremost, yes, you have to have technical skills because that's the base of your interview for whichever role you apply. Say even if the MBA guys who are here, for you the technical skills would be your theories, your concepts which you read in your MBA for 2 years. So be it HR, be it marketing, be it finance, guys, all of you need to work on your tech skills. That will be your core subject knowledge. Then coming to what ma'am was asking, projects done and the internships done are the best way you can actually explain your knowledge, because that is something you have done. Okay, so the interviewers also don't know you, right? So they will be interested in how you can explain what you know. They can ask you questions, you can give them answers. They can ask you questions, you can give them answers. That will go on and on and on. But if they ask you what project you did, and some of you, or like most of you, your final year projects and your many projects which you do, you guys choose it them yourself. Of course, internships, you don't have options. But other projects, you choose the topic on your own. So it's your interest which they can see. Say suppose if you guys are saying that you are doing a project on IoT, so the interviewer will get to know that yes, you are interested in IoT, that's why you chose that subject. And what you did, the step-by-step process which you did, the technologies you use, the idea behind it, that formulates your impression in the mind of an interviewer that yes, this guy is interested in IoT, he took this approach, this was the algorithm which he followed, these were the technology databases which he used. So it just pans out in front of him just like a process which you followed, and just it highlights your entire persona or candidature in front of the interviewer if you are able to explain your project well. I mean, I do know a lot of us still go to what's that market in Chandni Chowk where you get projects? I'm forgetting the name of it. So you go to that market, you pick up a project and you present it to your external examiner कि हाँ बस हो गया. And interview में when the panelist asks you, you don't know anything about it. Okay, guys, projects are important. Please focus on them. If you get stuck somewhere, take help from your faculty members, take help from the internet. You have so many resources, okay? But don't just do fuzzy projects anymore, because that is something which will really take you through your interviews. I mean, okay, in my batch also, we had a lot of people who went there, bought projects and presented, and the numbers, because some of them mark as to what they presented, but eventually they realized when the placements came in and they could not get through because they got stuck on the project. Everything else they were able to tell the interview. So whatever you are doing, do it with full passion and be genuine. Okay. So database and sound knowledge of each aspect of SDLC. So guys, software development lifecycle is what forms the base of all kinds of projects in any IT firm. Okay, so a lot of you who know that IT is all about coding. No, that's not so. IT is about requirement gathering. IT is about writing the algorithm. IT is about devising the code. IT is about testing those codes, debugging those codes, implementing those codes, or implementing rather, I should not use the word as code, but as the solution which you are providing to your clients, right? So each and every aspect is important, and you should be ready to work in each and every aspect of it. Okay, so especially for the mechanical, electrical, electronics guys, if you think coding is not your cup of tea, let it be. It should not be. Go ahead, explore testing, explore debugging, explore requirement gathering, right? Explore maybe hacking. So there are so many things which are there, and nowadays every company has some or the other contest which they offer to you. Like in TCS itself, we have Code Beta for coding, we have Hackers for ethical hacking, then we have Nginx for IoT based like people who are interested in IoT. Then we have Humane, which is a project entirely on artificial intelligence. And this is how you explore IT, guys. If you think कि interview के बाद I will go. Abhi, you have those contests. Take part in as many contests, as many hackathons which come your way, because most of the problems which are given in these kind of contests are something which the people are working on in live projects, and they give it to the students in order to get a fresh approach to it, or maybe an out of the box idea. Okay, so this is how you can explore what type of work you are going to do in the company. Because if you want to know what testing is all about, go ahead, take part in a testing contest. If you want to know what hacking is all about, take part in a hackathon. So these are the ways you can actually explore your technical side of it. Now coming to your analytical skills, very important guys, and especially as coders, you know what the skills are. But that is important in any domain you are in. Okay, articulation of what is the situation at hand, how you can articulate it in your head, and how you can articulate it for the other person. Logical reasoning, critical thinking, and problem solving and decision making. These are the things you can focus on under analytical skills. Now, coming quickly to com skills, I would like to take some time here because I understand a lot of students these days are not confident on this aspect. For you, what do you mean by communication skills? आपको क्या लगता है communication skill क्या है? I mean, I've given you some answers on the slide, but in your mind, what is communication skill? Come on, guys, quickly. I know I'm talking a lot and we have less time, so I would request your responses. Way of expressing own ideas and you expressing yourself. Okay. Perfect. Yeah. So you guys are close.
I'm so glad that students have diverted their actual myth. That is because normally I have seen students thinking communication skill means English, which is not true.
Correct.
And you guys are bang on.
Exactly.
Communication skill is nothing but the way you express. If you're in it, be it any language, be it any means of expression, that's communication. So I'm so glad I see those answers. I'm happy.
Very well, ma'am, very well put. So yes, guys, communication is nothing to do with your English speaking skills. Okay. Having said that, no doubt English is important, your grammar is important, because when you're talking to clients who are global clients, you need to know the language. So अब ये सुनने के बाद जो इंग्लिश पढ़ रहे हो ये मत सोचना कि अच्छा इंग्लिश तो चाहिए ही नहीं, अब मैं छोड़ रहा हूँ. आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट, neither is Rashmi ma'am saying that, okay? But communication is a lot more than just your English speaking ability or English writing ability. Okay, grammar has to be good. You can work on it. It will not happen overnight. A lot of us come from a background where we have not had the privilege of studying English language right from school. Okay, a lot of us are new to it as well. We are trying to cope up with the huge gap which we see in other students and in us if we are not able to talk good English. Don't get demotivated because of that. Okay, English though is an important aspect, yes, but you have to focus on the way you talk. I mean, person who's in English might not make sense to the person whom he's talking to. Hear me out here. Okay, so if I ask you in an interview, what is your weakness? You tell me, ma'am, I think my weakness is that I need to work on this domain. I get angry very fast and I feel not talk to people. I mean, you have gone on and on and on, and you have used so many words that I've lost what you were trying to tell me. Okay. In other words, you can say, ma'am, my weaknesses are, or something I would like to improve on is my communication with others, and my communication with others, and of course, sorry, I just lost my thought process. So it's just that you have to have that way of expressing yourself verbally, that you can use less words, you can make more sense, you are clear in what you have to say, and the other person understands you. Because if you use 100 words to answer an answer which requires just 20 words, the person will lose you. Kya banda kya bol raha hai? Acha, is pe focus karu ya us pe focus karu? What is the keyword I should take out of your answer? Okay, so verbal communication is very important as to how you express yourself. And verbal mein you have heard that you are there to explain. But whereas if you come to the next aspect, written communication, वहाँ पे you are not there. Okay, जो आप लिखते हो, that is what the other person reads and understands. Okay. So written communication is also something you should focus on, specifically email writing. And guys, please take note, जो सारी WhatsApp language चल रही है आजकल, sub, WAT, what, yo, या ये सब नहीं चलता. Okay, nothing का NTN is not acceptable. Okay, so you need to have that kind of a difference when you are actually writing formal written communication and when you are chit-chatting with your friends or alumni or whatever. So be careful on that because there you cannot explain कि अच्छा ठीक है next line में लिख दिया NTN का nothing था तुझे यही नहीं समझ आया या typo हो गया. ये सब नहीं हो सकता वहाँ, ठीक है. So whatever you write has to be crisp, clear कि दूसरा बंदा पढ़े तो उसको समझ आए, ठीक है. Third very important thing is your body language. As I was saying, वो 20 मिनट तुम्हारी जिंदगी की सबसे अहम 20 मिनट है, ठीक है. As Shahrukh Khan said in his Chuck the dialogues, I'll just take some cue from there.
And to add on, now it will be more of virtual interviews, so it is even more important.
Correct. So body language is nothing but how you carry yourself. Like right from the time you enter the screen or you enter the room till how you use your hand gestures, the expressions on your face, the way you walk, everything, the way you sit, your posture, everything is what we call as body language, and that is important to make a good first impression. एज ओल्ड सेइंग है, बहुत लोग कहते हैं कि नहीं ऐसा नहीं होता कि फर्स्ट इंप्रेशन इज योर लास्ट इंप्रेशन, but that is sadly true still. I mean, a lot of people, like we are very prejudiced as human beings. We judge people like this. मैं कोई स्टेज पे आया नहीं कि हमने उसके बारे में बोलना चालू कर दिया. In any contest you go to, even TV पे when you're watching say Indian Idol, एक बंदे ने गाना स्टार्ट किया and you are judging कि यार ये तो बहुत बकवास गा रहा है, right? So this is something which everybody does, no matter who they are. They have some perception of the person they interact with. Right. Okay, so body language is something you need to work on. Your dressing style, tie idhar gayi hui. People come like this in interviews, guys. I'm not kidding. Like in my experience over the past 5 years, tie idhar hai, button khula hua hai upar, girls with all their hair like this. I mean, okay, like my hair are also like this, but still when you go for an interview you have to like make amends to that appearance, right? You can't go like how I'm sitting right now for an interview. Okay,
just to add on, before you actually enter the interview room, trust me, the moment you enter the office premises, you have been observed, starting from the way you sit in the interview lobby, the way you drink water, and how you trash the paper cup or do you litter around. So all those minute things are still observed by the HR before you actually give the interview, which I used to do when I was in Delhi. So I just thought,
yeah, that's true.
Everything is noticeable since starting to the last.
Right, because that is true, because a lot of times when I'm not even interviewing, I'm just coordinating the drive, I talk to a few people who are sitting, and by the way of interaction you can still make out that okay, this person has a really good chance to get through, this person does not have a really good chance to get through. I don't even know him on a technical level, him or her, right? So interviewers are not fools, guys. They have been taking interviews for donkeys years together. They've seen students come and go. Okay, so ऐसा नहीं है कि उनको पता ही नहीं है कि क्या है इंटरव्यू, पहली बार आए हैं, नहीं, वो आपसे ज़्यादा स्मार्ट है. I mean, आजकल students have become smarter, no doubt, but interviews are even smarter than you, okay? Because they've been through each and every generation which came to them, right, for interview. So that's there are people who've been taking interviews in TCS for the past 20, 30, 15 years, and they need just 2 minutes to talk to you and they can decide ki haan, yes or no, bas baat khatam. And maybe a lot of times there's one very important thing. बहुत बच्चे इंटरव्यू के बाद मेरे पास आते हैं and they're like कि मैम मेरे से तो 2 ही क्वेश्चन पूछे उन्होंने, टेक्निकल तो कुछ पूछा ही नहीं मुझसे.
Yes.
टेक्निकल शायद पूछने की उनको जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ी होगी. Guys, they might have just seen you, talk to you, just maybe focused on the way you interact, your attitude, everything, and they would have taken a decision because they found that you may not be suitable, right? Or if they asked you just 1-2 technical questions which you answered perfectly, they might have made their decision in those 2 questions itself, that yes, this person has a lot of talent and can be groomed. So there are a lot of things which happen which you cannot say just after an interview. ठीक है. So body language is important, yes, and listening skills. ये तो मतलब इंडिया में सबके बहुत खराब है, I would say. ठीक है, I won't blame you students for that, but even anybody you talk to, मेरे को सब पता है दूसरा बंदा क्या बोल रहा है, I don't care. ठीक है, ये एटीट्यूड तो हम लेके ही चलते हैं कि हाँ बस यही है.
Discussion.
In group discussions, very important, hear the other person. Okay, so GDs में sometimes you're so busy in just talking, thinking what you have to say, कि आप पूरा GD सुनते ही नहीं हो. And when you actually think on your talk on your points, वो तो किसी ने शायद already बोल दिया था, and you're just repeating yourself. ठीक है, you feel कि उस टाइम मैं प्रिपेयर करता हूँ, अच्छा मुझे कैसे बोलना है, क्या बोलना है, अच्छा वो तो बोल रहा है, ठीक है कुछ तो बोल रहा होगा, मुझे क्या करना है. नहीं, समटाइम्स कोई ऐसा टॉपिक है जिसका आपको पॉइंट पता ही नहीं है, आप दूसरे बंदों को सुनो and you can build on what they have said. You don't need to get a new point to add to the GD, right? So listening skills are very important. मेरे साथ बहुत बार हुआ है when I'm interviewing, I ask a question to the student कि okay, so tell me a reason to not hire you. उसने क्या सुना, tell me a reason hire. And मुझे बताने लगा I am this, I am that, I am very good at communication, I am adaptable. I had to stop him there. Monica, did you even listen to the question? I asked you the reason to not hire you, not a reason to hire you. Okay. So listening is very important, guys. We tend to overlook these small words and वो पूरा interview गया फिर. क्योंकि पूछा कुछ और है, अब बता कुछ और रहे हो, not acceptable, right? अब बंदा भी सुबह से अगर इंटरव्यू ले रहा है, ठीक है, especially for those of you जिनका towards the latter half of the day number आता है. At the end of the day, the interviewer is also human, guys. We need to understand that fact. Though they try from their side to give you their 100% genuine attention, but after say 20 interviews, बंदा थक जाएगा थोड़ा तो, right? So he will make decisions on these small things कि ये तो सुन ही नहीं रहा है, बता ही नहीं पा रहा है कि मैं क्या पूछ रहा हूँ, तो they'll eliminate you there and then, right? So you can avoid this by yourself working on what you can do, what is in your control, that is listen at least to what he's asking. Okay, so that is there. And then quickly moving on to the personality development aspect of you. So ये सब करने के बाद you guys come and say कि मैम मेरा तब भी नहीं हुआ, मैंने इंटरव्यू में सब कुछ बताया, ये हुआ वो हुआ, बट मेरे को लिया नहीं उन्होंने. Because your attitude may not have been good, your confidence level may not have been good, and the ethics and value system which the interview could read out of you may not be what he's looking for. I'll just give you an example. A lot of students these days are very fussy on locations. आपको पता है, you're aspiring for IT, it's a global organization, they have branches everywhere. Location constraint नहीं हो सकता. Unless of course you have a very genuine reason, which I don't think companies also deny in that case. But जाते से ही आप नहीं बोल सकते हो कि मैम I don't want to go out of Delhi, या मैम I don't want to work in Bangalore or Chennai. It's not so. जहाँ business है वहीं पे आपको post करेंगे ना. ऐसा तो है नहीं कि आपको they are hiring you just to pay you and not get any work out of you. इतना भाईचारा corporate में नहीं होता यार, friends में फिर भी चलता है, but corporate means business. If you are an asset to the organization, you are there to stay and grow. But if you're not, then sorry, nothing can be done. You'll have to maybe take some other path or whatever. So flexibility, the way you talk to people, respect for individual, how you address each other, all these things really matter. Okay? You cannot get into corporate by considering that the other person is beneath you. चाहे वो आपका senior हो, junior हो, team member हो, you have to have that respect. You have to be flexible in the technologies you work in. You have to be flexible in the location. You have to be flexible in terms of hours. So that kind of an attitude needs to be in place, guys. Otherwise, you'll have a very tough time. You will be in escalations. You will have HR meetings every day in order to improve your attitude and everything. So that will not help you anyway. Right? You have to be proactive in your approach. You have to come up with new ideas. You have to take the initiative. कोई आपके काम नहीं देगा कि हाँ ठीक है, इमरान अगर ये कर रहा है तो उसको यही करने दो. या फिर अगर अंतरिक्ष ने बोला है कि मैं कोडिंग ही करूंगा तो वो कोडिंग करेगा, नहीं, ऐसा नहीं होगा. You have to take the initiative. You have to come out of what you are assigned to do and do a lot more than that without anybody having to tell you. So proactiveness, ethics, confidence, attitude, all these things, guys, together combined with your technical skills, analytical communication, all these things together will, of course, make you what you are, and it will help you make you the chosen one. Okay. So I think काफी ज्ञान हो गया आज के लिए, and मैंने पूरा सेशन ही ले लिया almost, but it's just that I want you guys to know each and everything about these things ताकि आप ये problems करो ही ना, like you don't make these mistakes. Like maybe back in our time we didn't have anybody to tell us all these things exactly कि ये होता है. But since I am in the industry, I can help you out. I would love to see my college getting placed in great companies, and all of you, not just the top 50, 60 students. Okay? So work on these aspects, build your brand, and then sit for your processes. Yeah. So that's all from my end, guys. We'll open the floor to questions. And Rashmi ma'am, over to you, please.
Before that, I just have a question from my end, basically specific to you, Akanksha. I just wanted to know now in this pandemic situation, how has you guys as an HR team planned up to transmute the work culture, the business, and the hiring strategies after you guys are back to work?
Right. So since there is a lot of uncertainty still, I mean, though we are trying to move into the new normal now, but things are still not as stable as they were. So frankly speaking, a lot of focus is on, of course, how we can leverage technology at this moment. Mostly the focus would be on the gamified hirings, which we do, contest-based hirings, or maybe on virtual mode of interviewing, right? So these things are something which are still to be confirmed, because I don't think any of the IT company has devised or shared their plan of hiring this year at the moment. Because they're still
deciding. To the numbers. No, I wasn't referring to the numbers of campus hiring, but I just wanted some input as to how can our students prepare themselves for, because on the the mode of interviewing will definitely change now, because for sure we cannot expect HRs physically coming to the campus and do the hiring, right? So I'm sure there are a lot of maybe the mode of hiring, maybe the channels which you'll be focusing more on. Is it going to be more of LinkedIn or some other technology portal you guys will be looking to segregate the top profiles? Like I was actually referring to that context, how the diversion will happen.
Right. See, so LinkedIn, of course, is an important platform from where we do a lot of social media hiring. But as I understand, or what I have seen in my experience so far, is we use that more for experienced hirings, because campus, it's too, I would say it's too, like, it's not justified for us to expect that kind of understanding from the students. That okay, what they need to update on, and what not.
You may get to see a lot of interesting LinkedIn profiles from our ITS students, wherein they have beautifully branded themselves with the projects, with the internship, with the attaching the certificates, so all that. So, and plus their LinkedIn intro video of the quick video bites of 2 minutes. So all that, they are putting a lot of effort, a lot of hard work. So that is why I was trying to see if these things can be connect very well. Because now it's going to change. I do not know previously was it given so much of importance, but now that physically things are not happening with the HRs, definitely they will, I think they might consider the LinkedIn profiles for freshers.
Right. So having said that, of course, social media presence is there. LinkedIn is your virtual profile. Since, as we said, things will move to virtual, mostly the hiring will happen in that mode. So LinkedIn is the best platform. You can showcase yourself already. Like, that's kind of what you put in your resume, you already put on LinkedIn, and in a much impressive manner, right? And in a manner wherein we can just have a glance at your profiles and we can decide. So if it's not the whole and sole criteria for shortlisting profiles, but it might, yes, hold a weightage as to when we are making a decision. So say, for example, we've spoken to you, we've taken your interview, but we are still yet to decide. We couldn't get 100% out of the virtual interview. We might just go to your LinkedIn profile, go through it, what you've done, how you've portrayed yourself, because that is something which you are making your digital profile in, right? So that will hold a weightage, yes, in taking a decision. It may not be a deciding factor in terms of profile shortlisting, but yes, social media presence is what we are going towards. Default is digital these days, and digital is default. Okay, so that is what we are working on. So it always matters. Like even for you guys, if you have to look at someone, you first and the foremost thing you would do is you'll go stalk them on Facebook, LinkedIn, Insta, whatever social media you can find their presence on. You'll go check, अच्छा ये बंदा ऐसा, ये बंदा ऐसा, अच्छा. Then you make 10,000 judgments in your heads, and then you go and meet that person. Okay, so of course we can't do that for each and every student we interact with, but yes, it will hold a weightage going forward. That is what I feel. And coming to the virtual mode of interview, guys, it is even difficult because when you're sitting face to face with the interviewer, you can still make an impression. The aura around you and the way you talk, you're in the same room, sharing the same space. But virtual mode might be more difficult for you guys to crack because you may be telling something, there might be internet lag because nobody can be very confident on the infrastructure which we have right now for internet. There are lags, there are
tips you
remote
could
locations.
give to our students regarding virtual interview?
Ma'am, sorry, your voice is breaking a bit.
I was just asking, is there any tips you can give to our students regarding virtual interviews?
So regarding virtual interviews, guys, first and the foremost, of course, your appearance. Since you are visible till here, your appearance will matter as the body language or your posture, how you sit. If you're sitting like this in an interview, or if you're sitting like this in an interview, that won't help, right? Virtual mode में ऐसे नहीं बैठ सकते कि yes sir, no sir. You have to be prim, proper, sit properly, talk properly. Eye contact is important क्योंकि सामने तो नहीं है बंदा. You have to look into the camera, not on the screen where you can see yourself. Right? A lot of us still do that because we are so used to seeing the person and talking, whereas your eye contact will be on the camera. That is something which a lot of us don't realize. So that has to be there. Then you have to talk sense because SNA you can keep beating around the bush. So because interview times will get shortened, he can say that the panel can spend half an hour, 1 hour on you because he'll have to take a lot of interviews, and virtual mode will nevertheless be slower for panels. Like if in person they were able to take 25 interviews, they might be able to take 15 interviews over virtual mode. Right? So all these things will be there. But at the end of the day, what anybody wants is the complete package. How you talk, what you know, your knowledge, your ideas is something which are important, and how you can work on them is, guys, take part in contests, take part in hackathons, do your extracurriculars. Okay, college work is there, you have to take it up, but please take part in all the contests which are there. Do as many projects you can, take additional internships, take live projects. Aajkal to virtual projects itne chal rahe, a lot of companies are giving you projects which you can work from home on in your internships also. So take as many of those projects as you can do. I know a question रहता है कि एक बेचारा इंसान कितना करे, okay, but it depends कि आप क्या बनना चाहते हो, how you want to be seen, and what you want to work on. And guys, explore your options. Some of you asked me that can I choose software testing as a good career? What's the way to establish yourself in a company as a good software tester?
Yes.
So guys, for the testing, what you understand by testing is something which it is not anymore. Okay? If you think that testing is just manually entering the queries and then seeing what output is coming, no. Testing has now transformed into quality engineering. Okay. Let me ask you a question. If ma'am, I hope we have time. Like, can I take 5?
Yeah, we have another good 5 minutes.
Okay, sure. So if you go out and buy a pair of jeans, guys, okay, just a simple pair of denims, what all do you see? Uh, what all are your criterias before you buy that? I would love answers, but in paucity of time, I'll just tell you. You see the prices, you see the brand, you see the material, you see the style. So for buying a pair of jeans, for which you have to spend about say 2,000 rupees, you have such a big list, okay, and you test each and every aspect before you actually take the product. So similarly, for our customers who are investing millions and millions of money in that particular solution which they are expecting out of an IT company, they will not take any product, right? They will want to be tested to the point that whatever changes they are wanting, they will be able to make with that. Each and every functionality they will test, right? So testing overall has become such an important field, such a huge field, where each and everything is becoming a new branch of testing altogether. You say automation testing, you say selenium testing, you say uh, uh, like manual testing is still there, and there are so many tools which have come in wherein you can test various aspects of a product. So quality engineering is when you have a knack for detail, when you have an eye for catching even the smallest of the bugs, and you are able to rectify that, and you have to give a product to the customer which is engineered for its quality. Okay, so that is what I'll sum up as the answer, that testing is becoming an upcoming field, and there is huge scope in becoming a good software tester. You can of course read up a lot more on testing, guys. It's there on a lot of websites. Whoever's interested, you can take part in contests. So TCS, I know about TCS more. So your Encode is a contest which focuses on software testing. So all of you who are interested, you can surely go ahead and take part. Shivam has asked how TCS recruitment is going to change after this pandemic. So Shivam, we are still in process of deciding as to what mode we want to come out in. But as you know, one of the things we have already launched, that is the TCS Code Meetup. Guys, seeing the situation on ground, a lot of companies might focus on contest-based hirings, because there we can already test you on the same domain we want to hire you in. And business demands also are in sync with the contests which happen. So each contest is owned by some or the other business unit, wherein they test the students as per your replies in the contest or as per your submissions in the contest, and then take a call. Right? So focus on contest-based hirings more. Those of you who registered for Code Beta already in terms of TCS I'm talking, please take part in that. ऐसा नहीं कि जबरदस्ती registration कराई थी तो मैंने कर ली and बस हो गया. I know these things happen. I've been through it. I've been in discussion with so many students over the past so many years who've told me कि मैम हमें तो कॉलेज ने बोला था हमने कर दिया अब पता नहीं. मैंने ये नहीं है guys. अगर कॉलेज बोल रहे हैं they're telling you for a reason. Please comply to that and at least participate. जीतोगे हारोगे is different. Whether you win the contest is okay, but you will get the experience from what you do. What is the important thing when you're entering interview room? I think Amandeep, I already covered that to a greater extent. When interview asks a question and eventually I don't know, that time how can we manage? Okay, very interesting, Sharia. The best answer is, I'm sorry, sir, I do not know. But I'm sorry, sir, I do not know. That's okay. The interviewer also understands. But if you give this answer for every question, then you know there's a problem. But for one or two things, if you say, ki, sir, I'm sorry, I don't know, I'll have to check it out. That's
I
okay.
just want to add on this. If you guys have just, recalled just a few minutes back, Akanksha just blanked out. She was just going on a flow and suddenly it just went on. The beautifully way she handled that way, I'm sorry, I just missed out. Okay, coming, have you observed the way she picked up? That is exactly what, we have to, learn out of this. So it's okay. It is normal to forget. It is normal to be blanked out. It is very normal. Take it as a very normal tendency, like how you cough or have you tried to take a deep breath. So that's fine. So all you can say is, I'm so sorry, sir. I have a limited knowledge about this, but definitely, if given a chance, I'm ready to learn. Period. they always look for a student who has a
Exactly.
wonderful learning attitude. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
That's true. That's perfectly true. Very well put, ma'am. So, Shayar, I hope that answers your question. We all are humans, guys. We forget. We just lose our thought process. Interviewers are also human that way. They know that okay, students here, they are nervous. They give leeway. They give you full leeway that okay, you might be nervous because you're in an interview. So they won't judge you कि अच्छा ठीक है एक दो क्वेश्चन नहीं आते. But अगर सारे क्वेश्चन नहीं आते या सारे क्वेश्चन गलत बोलो then there's a problem. Okay? So I'm not saying कि ठीक है कुछ नहीं आता तो भी ठीक है. But if you forget or if you don't know something, say that sir, I'm so sorry, I do not know this, or sir, I read about this, but I cannot recollect it right now, but I'll surely check it up once we are done. If we can move to the next question, that's totally fine. That's a good way of handling what you don't know, and you're being honest about it. Rather than कि आपको एक चीज एक कीवर्ड पता है उसके बारे में पूरी महाभारत बता दी और ये नहीं बताया कि अर्जुन कौन था. ठीक है. So it's just that. So Shayar, I hope that answers your question. IT being the most volatile and dynamic sector, which core IT segment will give us as sorry. IT being the most volatile and dynamic sector, which core IT segment will give us a competitive advantage? Okay, so Imran, to answer that, see, of course, IT is volatile and dynamic, as I said in the previous slides also, that things are changing, technology is changing every day, and we need to keep upgrading. So each and every core segment of IT is important, guys, because business is coming in from each and every domain. Okay, be it testing, be it control systems, be it your artificial intelligence, Hadoop, be it your mainframe projects, they are still prevalent. So as I said, even though we are advancing at a very high pace, we cannot forget the core, okay, or what we built the entire industry on. Okay, so you need to have, of course, having knowledge about the digital technologies which are coming in, the upcoming skill sets to acquire. You can focus on AI, you can focus on machine learning, you can get into big data analysis that's coming in a big time. Then you can also work on data science and all these upcoming technologies which are there. But at the same time, you cannot just be all about these technologies. You have to have your core knowledge about the previous technologies which are there. Maybe, so what I would say is a sound knowledge of one old technology, one new technology, and a good hold on your databases for the CSIT guys specifically. That would help you through the interview process at least. Because if you know these things well, you can talk on these things a lot, right? And you can explain whatever you know. An interviewer will also know, okay, this guy knows about the past, is ready to adapt to the future, and is also working on the link between the front end and the back end and everything. Right? So you can totally focus on these aspects. But Imran, let me tell you, whatever part of IT you get into or you are put into, as all of you say that हमें तो बस डाल दिया project में, हमें पूछा भी नहीं क्या करना है, you can build your career on anything. Okay? I mean, even आपका अगर support project में भी आपको डाला है, उसमें भी there are various levels. You can become like there are various hierarchies and various designations which every company has. So focus on what you like. Eventually you can move to that, but starting में of course you will have to meet the business demand of whatever IT company you join. So उस हिसाब से you'll have to build your career around that. Okay, what were the things you used to like about college when you were a student? Okay, my second question, हमारा college IIT नहीं है. We are always curious about things to get placed in a good company. What are your views on difference in getting placed in a company? Sorry, 1 minute. In a company, it must be a good company and better salary. Okay, so guys, I know हमारा college IIT नहीं है. ठीक है, IIT होता तो there would have been a lot of other pressures which you would have to take anyway. See, it's not about being in an IIT. It's about being who you are. As I said, building your brand. Okay, you can be as good as an IITian as well in terms of maybe your subject knowledge, your core understanding of concepts. Okay, just because you were not able to crack a paper on that one day should not define who you are. Okay, you might have had a bad day when you were giving your IIT or your JEE mains or whatever, but that does not define who you are. Okay, if you're not in an IIT tagged institute, that does not mean you're not good. So please come out of that shell which you guys are carrying. मेरा IIT नहीं हुआ, मैं तो normal college में हूँ and मैं क्या करूँ आगे? So this is something which should not even come to your mind. Guys, once you start in the corporate world, there are so many people who are average students throughout their lives and they are doing exceptionally well. They are amazing leaders because of being average. They were exposed to other things rather than just being the toppers and focusing on studies. So they built a whole lot of other skills which proved them to be better leaders than the top-notch thinkers, right? So there are a lot of things you can get into. There are a lot of skills you can build apart from your intelligence levels. So focus on what you are good at or what your strengths are. Then what are your views difference between getting placed in any company or it must be a good company and better salary? So Mayank, this is something which is very subjective from person to person, okay? Some people are very, very monetarily driven. For them, high package, good money is everything which there is to be, okay? But for others, they might not be as interested to earn a lot of money. They might want to do something which is worthwhile. They want to get into something which gives them a good exposure, which gives them a good takeaway, good learning. Okay, so a lot of people, they work for NGOs. They don't get paid, but they do it because they want to do something which will make a difference. That is what drives them. Some people, they run after these salary packages because money is what they want and that is their aim. So they will go for better salary anyway. So if you know where your loyalties lie or what you want to do, whether you want a good experience, you want a good opportunity, you want a broad domain in your career, or you want to get into a good salary. Of course, money is important for all of us for meeting our needs, but need for everybody is different. So it's a totally personal decision as to what you want to go for. As for me, I would love to work in a company which gives me good learning, where I go excited to office every day, ki, okay, aaj kya karenge? Rather than coming back with so much tension, so much pressure with a fat salary in my hand. Okay, so it totally depends on what you want to do. Right? What were the things you used to like in the college? Okay, so guys, I don't know if I should be saying that here or not, but college was amazing for me. Okay, whatever situations we were in that time, whatever resources we had, we made the most of it. Okay, of course, like in my fourth year, we were found in Ansal and Jagat farms a lot, of course, and we used to just sit in the like just in the lawn outside Nescafe, and we used to while away our time that time as well. But I used to love the way we got the opportunity to do whatever we want, like any initiative which we wanted to take up. We used to go, like I've been to the director's office so many times, not for any wrong reasons, but just to talk to him on that's how we want to do this, we want to take up this initiative, we want to build this up. Like Shalini was an event, the College Fest, what we named it back then, I think now it's called something else. So the entire planning of it, what we wanted to do, everything, whatever we wanted, we discussed with sir, and he was more than happy to let us do that. So that was the kind of experience we got. Then interacting with so many people, meeting so many people is something which I loved about being in college. The way you can make your own image, your own impression. That's the best platform to grow, guys, right now where you are. आजकल हम एक दूसरे को जानते भी नहीं हैं, right? But you need to understand networking is what will take you through. Networking is very important. आजकल सब अपने phones में है, they are very individualistic कि अच्छा ठीक है, they don't know EC के बच्चे कौन है, CS वालों को नहीं पता मैकेनिकल में कोई पढ़ता भी है कि नहीं, ठीक है. So it's just that ये नहीं होना चाहिए. Your inter-branch collaboration should be so good. Your attachment with your seniors should be so good that they are there to help you even outside college. ठीक है? So build on those bonds क्योंकि इसके बाद ये वाली feeling नहीं रहेगी. Corporate में दोस्त नहीं बनेंगे. Okay, so this is the time where you can focus on your relationships, building friendships, building bonds, networking. That is something which I really liked about college, and I focused on that quite a lot.
That's exactly is the motive behind this webinar of alumni. I mean, when we as CRC, when we thought of, we just finished with the top HR leaders webinars, and now we thought we'll do with the alumni. And the only motive behind doing this is somehow if my students are able to find a mentor in you, or if they're able to get something out of their seniors, then definitely it will be like a great experience. So
that is why this alumni association has been built up for this reason only.
Absolutely.
Build
So
up
I just
relations between
asked
current
Shubham,
students and seniors, our alumni and corporate world to link up all those.
True.
Right, so I think there are no further questions, ma'am. So over to you.
Yes, I would hand it over to Shubham. I guess even he wanted to have a word.
Thank you so much, Akanksha ma'am. Thank you so much, Ashwi ma'am, for the lovely session. Interesting one actually. The Alumni Association is doing the same actually. That is building relationship between the alumni, the pass outs, and the corporate world with the current students. How they can handle the current situation, current trends, current technology with the corporate world. How they can link up all those things. And they can get in touch with us, with the CRC, with our alumni through official mails or social networking also. And if we have any other doubts or anything, you can ask Akanksha ma'am or Ashwi ma'am. We will happy to help you out there. And over to Ashwi ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Students, I hope you could find you could, find some mentor in these two. I am extremely proud to be interacting with, these two young and successful corporate employees and the entrepreneur. So definitely, I'm sure you guys also will feel the same. Stay connected with them, probably through LinkedIn, phone, or WhatsApp. I'm sure you guys know the best. Right, and thank you so much, Akanksha. Thank you so much, Shubham. I'm sorry I took 30 minutes extra from you because I know I was supposed to close it by 12, but definitely it was a great experience in this webinar. I'm sure even students might have. Okay, I think there's one question. We'll just address it to you. How machine learning will help in job related and marketing profile? So this is going to be the last question, post which we're going to close. Machine learning.
Yes. So Imran, interesting question. Yes, but fields are like quite different. But then again, no knowledge which you get is something which will not help you. Okay. So I'm not a machine learning expert, so I may not be able to dive in detail about what machine learning is all about and what you can do and how you can move from here to there. But let me just tell you, since it's an upcoming field, it's going to be, it's all about smart machines these days, right? And marketing is something wherein you have to promote a product. So whichever industry you are in, you will have to market whatever you're working for. And I'm sure every industry will adapt to machine learning sooner or later, right? So if you have that technical side of knowledge about machine learning, you'll be able to understand your products much better. You'll be able to make strategies which will focus on the products which you are going to be marketing for, and this will actually help you in understanding how you can bridge the gap, I would say. Because for me as well, I am from a technical background, but I'm working into a totally non-technical domain, right? But this does not mean that the knowledge which I had in the 4 years of engineering is totally waste, because now I'm in such a role where I'm recruiting for IT. So even when I'm sitting for tech interviews, I can at least make sense of what the students are talking because I've been through the same thing, right? If I was a total novice as to I don't even know what C++ means, right? If I can still point out if a student is giving me the wrong answer for C++ because I studied those languages back then, right? So it's like the whatever knowledge you get is something which will take you through, and some or the other time in your life it will help you in your careers. So please continue that spirit of learning is what I would say.
Absolutely. All right, so we are almost in the end of this webinar session. On behalf of ITS Engineering College, just want to share my profound gratitude of both of you. A wonderful experience, wonderful webinars, and I see a lot of appreciations coming up from students as well. I'm sure you also can see that in the chat box there. So that says it all. All right.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am, for having me over. It was a pleasure, guys, to interact with you. And I loved the way you guys answered me, and we had an interactive session, even though I couldn't see you or meet you face to face. And you might meet me, guys, during your TCS selection processes and so on and so forth if I'm still here. Please work well. I think this can be an additional input which you can put into working for your placements. And for all those MBA guys out there, I know the session was more focused on technology front and how B.Tech guys can work on it. But see, the building your brand part holds same for each and every one of us, right? So the definitions of your skill sets in technical would change. Rest everything is totally generic, and you should totally focus on that as well. Yeah. So thanks, guys. Thank you so much. And as Rakesh sir requested me to just spit something about Code Vita, you all know Code Vita is closing tomorrow, and request all of you to motivate your friends to register if they've not done so already. And please go ahead and participate in the mock Vitas and the contests which come forward. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thanks a lot, Shubham, and pleasure interacting with both
Thank
of
you, students. Thank you for joining in. Thank you, Shubham. Bye, Akanksha.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you. Bye-bye.